Hi besties, I'll be showing you how to make this simple yet stylish jumpsuit. It has elastic at the upper part and adjustable drawstring at the waistline. So this is the inspiration. Now this is the one I made, and here I am showing you guys different ways you can rock this jumpsuit. You know, other people will not show you, but see me as your bestie, I'm showing you. So thank you guys so much. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel, and on your post notification button so you'll be notified every single time I post a new video on the channel. So for this tutorial I used 3.5 yards of Ankara fabric, and this is the gorgeous print I made use of, and I folded it into two. So now we are going to be cutting the lower part first. So from this savage area, that black point will be serving as my starting point. At that point I'm going to take off my half length, then get the full length of my jumpsuit. So my full length was 59 inches, so it depends on how long you want this jumpsuit to be. So I'm marking it out. I'm sorry that part wasn't showing. So after getting that, now I'm going to come back to that point where we are using as our starting line, and I'm going to come down 9 inches for my hip line. So just place a tape from your waist down to the fullest part of your hip. Whatever measurements you have there is your hip line. Now after marking that out, I'll be getting my crouch length. So to get your crouch length, divide your round hip by 4. Now if I'm making a fitted pants, I'll add 1 inch, but this is a free jumpsuit, so I'll be adding 2 inches to that. So instead of marking 11 inches, I'll be marking 12 inches at that point. I hope this is clear. But if you have any questions, you know, now you can always ask your questions on the comment section. Now we are done, so I'm just going to level. This is the crouch and this is the hip line. Now the upper part is serving as my waistline. So on the crouch line, I'll be dividing my round hip by 4, which is 10 plus extra 3 inches. So my hip is 40 divided by 4 will give you 10, plus extra 3 inches will give you 13. Now coming to the hip line, I'm going to mark the same 13. Now I'll take that measurement up the way to the waistline. So I'm marking the same 13 there, and I'm going to connect them together. Now for my crouch extension, so to get my crouch extension, what I normally do is I divide my hip by 16. That is 40 divided by 16 will give you 2.5, and that is what I'm marking there. Then at the angle there, I'll go up by 1. So some people normally divide theirs by 10, by 20. So but whatever works for you, but this works for me and my clients. Now I'll just take that measurement all the way down, because this is a palazzo trouser, it's not fitted. Like I said, to get your crotch extension, divide your hip by 16. So if your hip is 40 like mine, if you divide it by 16, it's going to give you 2.5. So whatever worked for you, do. So after that, the next thing we're going to do is just to cut out. We are done drafting this front part. It's that easy. So guys, if you have watched up to this point and you've not liked my video, recommended my channel to a friend, or shared any of my tutorials, guys, please like, subscribe and recommend my channel to your friends. I will appreciate that greatly. Now we'll be using this now to cut out our back, which is very easy. So this is the back piece. I folded it into 2 and I have space at the side. I'll be extending the crouch for the back by 2 inches, and I'll roll it out this way. Now after doing that, I'm just going to connect from that point to the waistline. See the way my hands are going. Now everybody has different method on how they make their pants. So the method you are using, as long as it gives you or your client the fitted pants, it's fine. So this is the method I normally use, and it comes out very well. Now after connecting that, from that crouch extension, I'll just connect it straight to the front piece this way. So I'm not adding any allowance to the side because I have enough. I remember we added 3 inches, so it's more than enough for what I need it for. So all we have to do now is to cut out. Now do you see how easy it is to draft out the back piece? And guys, you guys are not following me on my socials, so please, you can follow me on TikTok at Ibichisom, the same name I have on my YouTube. Then you can equally do the same on Instagram at So with Somi. But I think I'm just going to change the whole names to one thing, so that you guys, it will be easy for you guys to find me and follow me on my socials. So this is what we have. Now I'll just go take it to the machine. I'll close the crouch area with half inch. So I'll close the front with half inch. I'll equally do the same for the back. So I'll go do that and bring it back to show what I have. So this is for the front. I'm done closing the crouch area and I'll be cutting out my pockets. So for the pockets from the side of the pants, I'll come in by 3 inches, and for the length I'll be coming down by 7 inches. So I'm going to use my ruler to connect the 2 points together. So after that, I'm just going to trim off the small piece we have there. So here I've cut out 4 pieces for my pockets. I have 4. Now for the length, the wideness is 9 inches, and for the length is 11 inches. So I'll just pick out 2 pieces. We're going to work with 2, then I'll keep the other 2 aside. So I'll place it under the pants this way. So I'll arrange it, making sure that the sides and the upper part are fitting each other. Then I'm going to cut out the same shape I have on the pants on the pocket as well. So after doing that, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to open it up this way. Then I'll place the fabric on its right side facing each other. Then I'll be stitching it down with half an inch. Now this is for people that don't know how to attach pockets to their pants. So do the same on the other side and I'll bring it back to show you what I have. Now after attaching it, I'm just going to notch them. Now after notching, I'll place it inside this way. Then I'm going to get my steaming iron. We're going to be ironing this flat so that everything lays very flat. So whatever I'm doing for this side, I'll do the rest off camera and I'll bring it back to show you what I have. Now after ironing, you see how flat everything lays. So I'm going to get the other piece we kept aside. Then I'm going to place them right side facing each other this way. Then I'll go close the side, then close the lower parts. So after that, you're going to stitch the ends and at the upper part to hold everything together. Now I'm done. Now do you see how our pockets looks? So everything is coming out together. Now the next thing is to replace the measurements we took. Remember, we cut out 3 inches and we used half inch to join, so we are supposed to have replaced 3.5 inches. So on this part I have 3.5 inches. There is nothing to replace here. Now coming to this other side, I'm going to make sure I have 3.5 inches. So here I have a little bit above 3.5 inches. So the little excess I have there, after measuring the little excess I have there, I will just trim that part off. So whatever you took out while cutting out your pocket, always make sure to replace it. So if you took out 3 inches, replace that 3 inches. I remember you are using half an inch to join, so make sure you place that half an inch. Now after that, this is what our side pocket is going to look like. Now I'm going to get the back piece. I'll place them right side facing each other. I'll take it to the machine. I'll stitch with 1 inch all the way down. I'll do the same for this other side and bring it back to show you. So let's cut out our upper part. So I have 2 pieces here for both the front and the back, and for the fold I have here is my round hip divided by 4 plus 3 inches, the same measurements we have for the lower part. I hope you understand. Now from the starting line, I'm going to be marking 1.5 inch. So this 1.5 inch is for my casing. Remember, the upper part has a casing, like an elastic at the upper part. So this 1.5 inch is what I'll be using as the casing for it. Now from the 1.5 inches point, I'll be taking off 6 inches for my off shoulder. So after that, I'll come down for my half length. So my half length is 16 inches. I added 1 inch to that, making it 17 inches. So after that, I'm just going to cut off the excess I have at the lower part. Then I'll cut off the excess I have at the upper part. So now I'm going to open them up and I'll place them right side facing each other, take it to the machine, and I'll be stitching with 1 inch on both sides. So I'll do that and bring it back to show you. So here I'm done stitching the sides This is what I have. Next thing is for us to go create our casing. So I'll fold in half an inch first, then fold in 1 inch, then I'll go top stitch it all around and bring it back to show you. So this is my trouser. I'm done sewing the sides and I left the crotch area open. I'm going to get the upper part. I'm done hemming it and I left a space open for my elastic. Now I'm going to be placing the upper part to the trouser, so we sew the upper part and the lower part together, but make sure you match the side seam of the top to the side seam of the trouser. Use your pins to hold it down, then I'll go sew it all around using half an inch. So I'm going to stitch it down, bring it back, show you. So after stitching it down, this is what I have. The next thing is to create the area where we'll be adding our casing. Now for the casing, from the center part of my front piece, I marked 1 inch on both sides. From the center, I mark 1 inch on both sides. Now I'll measure what I have on the waistline there. I have 22 inches, so 22 times by 2 will give you 44. Now I've cut out a long strap for the casing, and the length I have here is 46. Remember, it is 44. I added 2 inches to that, making it 46. Now for the wideness of my casing, I have 1 inch here, so I cut out 2 inches and I ironed half inch down on both sides. So now I'm going to be folding the edge 2 times. That is why I added that 2 inches. Then I'll place it on the center line this way. You can use your pins to hold it down, then I'll go stitch it down. That is why we did not close our crotch area, so it will be easy for us to stitch it down. So I'll take it to the machine, I'll go stitch it down, no, top stitch it all around. So I'll do that and bring it back to show what I have. Yeah, I'm done stitching and I've added my rope to the casing we made, and if I draw it together, it's going to give us a very snatched waistline. Now for the upper part, I'm going to be adding my elastic, and I'm using 1 inch elastic. Now for the elastic I've cut out, I divided my round hip by 2, which will give me 20 plus extra 2 inches. So if you want it more loose, you can add extra 3 inches to your hip measurement divided by 2. Now I'm going to pass that through the casing I have made at the upper part. So now I'll go finish this up offline. So I'll go do it offline and I'll bring it back to show you what I have. After stitching, this is what I have, and I ran a second stitch at that upper part. You know how we do that when you're making a drawstring pants. Now this is my straps, and the length I have is 20 inches and the width is 2 inches. So what I'm going to do now is, on the side of the pants where we have our side seam, you're going to stretch this out. Someone can help you if you can't do it alone. Stretch it out. Then for mine, I marked 4.5 inches, and on that point I'm going to place one strap there and stitch it down. Now I'll come to this other side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stretch it out, place my strap there and stitch it down. So I'll go repeat the same thing for the back and bring it back. Now after stitching the straps down, this is what everything looks like. So thank you guys so much for watching up to this point. If you find this tutorial helpful, leave me a comment, leave a like, and you can recommend my channels to your friends, and it's going to help my channel and the algorithm to push this video out more. So when you like, comment, algorithm will push it more. So I'll see you on my next video. Bye.